I just want to add one last thing to the video I made previously. The one I made before was a long video, so I'm not really expecting a lot of people to watch the whole thing because I didn't, I kind of stretched the whole thing about the artwork on the site. It took the video up to like 25 minutes, and obviously when you make a video, you watch the video yourself kind of over and over again because most people like themselves. So I've watched it a couple times. It's a little bit tenuous um, in terms of the length and what I was the subject matter. Anyway, this one's going to be shorter because what I want to do is basically make an important point. Um, like I said, I'm gonna do a big blog post about atheism and really kind of try to make it exciting and in depth as much as I can with the writing. Anyway, I don't know. Different people have different tastes when it comes to writing style and how you do it, etc., etc., etc. My style is still in development, and I still have to figure out something that's captures a reader's attention, and kind of takes them on a little bit of a roller coaster ride, in terms of feeling what I'm trying to express. So that being said, I want to make this one final concise point about atheism and about people who identify as atheist. Most of my friends, I'd say maybe even all of them, are atheists. Smart bunch, smarter than I am in a lot of different ways. But yeah, they're all atheists. The only odd thing about that, though, is I seem to be like not the only one, but really the one who got stuck on this atheism thing, on the whole trying to define and define who I am, with respects to a ricocheting effect off of my previous religion, which is Islam. And even I wasn't a completely devout Muslim or anything like that. But for some reason, I came to a point where I wanted to define my belief as it relates to religion, or as it doesn't relate to religion, or whatever, however you want to do it. If you watch the video before this, you can see there's a real word game going on with with belief and atheism, and who believes and who doesn't believe, and all this sort of stuff. So what I want to say is kind of get away from myself for a bit and speak about why there are atheists out there that don't necessarily even pursue a definition of what they are, or to define their lack of belief. They feel it unnecessary. Now, I'm sure it has something to do with the political climate in Canada and the cultural sort of context within which people believe and don't believe. About 50% of Canadians are irreligious. Let's put it that way. They're irreligious, not specifically atheist, but irreligious, which is somewhat of an umbrella term that covers atheism, agnosticism, and any other sort of irreligious sort of belief, non-theism or anti-theism, etc., etc. So atheism being sort of the normative term, or the term that is the pivot in terms of the lack of belief, is not something that a lot of my friends, who happen to be all Canadian, close friends anyway, in more ways than one, they don't purport atheism or lack of religious belief as a matter of their fitting into a Canadian context or into society in general. And I'd have to say anybody who chooses to really identify as an atheist, they definitely go, with reference to the previous video I did, to stand out and say I am atheist actually makes a bold statement, and sort of cements the idea that it works as to say I'm an atheist, it means that atheism is another system of belief, or a system that posits itself in opposition to theism. So that's where people, maybe that's what happens there. Even people who, there might be atheists that don't even know they're atheists, in a very conscious, in a very um, volitive way, if that's a word. They or a malicious way, I don't know, in a very intended way. They don't claim to be atheists because they it's almost like claiming another system of belief. So I think that's part of why that sort of happens with people. When they hear the word atheist, they think, oh, another belief system. I'm not religious. I don't want to identify with another religious group. So they stay away from the word atheism, and it goes back to the word. You can't spell atheism without theism, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's I just wanted to clarify that point. I'm not sure who's watching this video. I'm thinking it's mostly my friends who are going to be watching it. So the audience is really them so far. So if you're a stranger watching this, then you may or may not know what I'm talking about. I'm sure in the U.S. you definitely know because, well, let's face it, the religious wars in the U.S. are much more intense for all the different reasons. And can't really say much more than that. But I hope this video kind of clarifies everything. And I wish they had a goddamn timer on this YouTube thing, but they don't. Anyway, I hope I wasn't too long on this one, and we will talk later. Okay, bye.